So it's been a while since I've jumped on here. Obviously, I've spent about 30 minutes and a couple of attempts waffling into the camera because I don't actually know why I'm here. I just know that I was getting pushed to do this. So here I am. And in our 30-minute conversation, which you won't get to hear, we've ranged over a wide variety of topics. It was great conversation. We went everywhere and nowhere at the same time because it was all mental. It's all cerebral. It's not going anywhere. That head stuff, that conspiracy stuff, and not theory. No, not conspiracy theories, just conspiracies. There's lots of them. It's kind of how scared people operate. If you're in fear, you find another person and you cut a secret deal with them. That's called a conspiracy. It's how fearful beings operate. There's a lot of that around. And every action, every anti-human action is motivated by fear at its root. There are definitely parasitic entities egging on, driving, farming the humans to behave in certain ways, and they're not operating out of fear, although they kind of are. Parasites are in a perpetual state of fear that they'll get found, or fear that they'll get turfed out, because the definition of a parasite is you can't do it yourself. You need energy from something else to live. You are parasitic. That's not humans at all at their base level. We are parasited upon. We are not parasites. I'd be so bold as to say I don't think we're even part of this system. Like the cow's not a parasite. It's a is it symbiocite? No, but it's symbiotic in this system. Humans can slip into this system and be symbiotic, but I think we can also just be self-sustaining, completely outside of this system of nature, as we call it in air quotes, even though we are in bodies made of nature. So parasitic is not how we roll, although we can mimic anything. And so parasites can trick us, scare us, force us into behaving like that. That's the bad behavior that you see all around you writ large from people. And mostly it's just driven by fear at the end of the day. And so, all of that's mental stuff, all that's brain gym, all of it. I could talk for hours and hours about the brain gym stuff, but it's not. This energy is the energy that transcends and makes it through. Not the supercomputer. That's just crunching numbers. That's just working out the odds of if I throw the ball comes back, and I just sort of, and it'll think it's crunching the odds anyway. It probably isn't even doing that. You see people shooting bow and arrows blinded, with a blindfold on, or shutting their eyes and catching things. Oh, well, they heard it. They're using their radar. It's probably not even that. So at the end of the day, if you're not focusing on heart, you're probably not there yet, which is why you're not seeing the 35 odd minutes of other stuff where I talked around in circles trying to say this would shortcut your brain, this would, forget about trying to shortcut it and just drop into your heart, because all of that stuff is just nonsense and it's not going anywhere. It's not going to get us anywhere, is what I mean by that. There's nothing new there. It's just same old, same old. So it feels like this is probably what I came on here to say was, you know, you can get on Twitter now that you're allowed to talk about things on Twitter that you can't talk about on YouTube, and we'll give you a 90-day ban on Facebook, and you can see other people seeing it, and no, we got to share that, and now that's getting put up, and people are actually, and they're getting the truth, and they're this, and it's that, and it's, and you know, I fall into that trap. I think it is a trap, you know, or it's a nice way to pass the time. Can keep you busy. But if I had to stack bricks to build a house, well, I wouldn't be doing that. I'd be stacking bricks. I'd be busy doing something else. If I had 2 acres of dirt to turn over, I wouldn't be doing that. It's just keeping you busy, which is a distraction and probably dodging you from where we need to be, which is dropping off the stuff that is connected to this, what I was just talking about, the social media and the truth movement, and the we can't say that there, and they're coming for us, and they're going to be going door to door soon, and there's this and there's that, and it's been going that long, and we know these secrets, but they won't admit them, and yeah, it's not going anywhere. Like, none of that gets to come. That just stays. If anything is going to stay, that'll be here, staying with it. It's not going to go anywhere. It's just same old, same old. And so if you're moving, or you'd like to move to a more homely environment, if you have a feeling that there is home and you're not there yet, whether that's in you or elsewhere, it's all kind of the same thing. That stuff doesn't come home. And so you're going to need to disengage from that stuff to get home. Or if we were to speculate that at some point you will get pulled home, then that stuff will need to be pulled off you for you to get home. And it could be welded on. Imagine the stories of people coming off motorbikes on bitumen or dirt roads, and the gravel embeds. And in the hospital, they've got stiff, bristled brushes to try and get that gravel out. And they do it multiple times a day because the body keeps pushing it out and it floats up towards the surface, and they scrub it out. That's how welded on some of this stuff is that's not serving us. And so, you know, we just shut our eyes, we just breathe. You just breathe up the back of your spine, up into your head, and down the front again. Only reason we shut our eyes is because 40% of the mental processing power goes to visual. If you shut down the visual channel, either that processing power shuts down or it gets diverted to somewhere else. You're either saving energy or you're putting energy into another bodily function or spiritual function, perhaps, that needs it more than your eyes. And you can out-picture, you can imagine things much, much easier with your eyes shut. And that's nothing to do with 2 pictures running at once, because we can easily look at 2 pictures at once. It's because of all the energies that the eyes take. Visual processing takes a lot of juice. Just easy breaths up your spine, into your head, down your front. Next time you breathe out, just dump that breath. Just pour the water out of the jug all the way down, down through your feet, down, 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 down. As far as you can go. Anchor in. It's all an illusion anyway. You're only anchoring into yourself. Every time you breathe out, just let that energy drop further. Anchor further into you. You're not anchoring into the earth. The earth is a cognate for your body. You are anchoring into yourself energetically. I'm not talking about physically. You breathe in, you're drawing up from the well of you, up through your body. You're breathing out, you're pouring that water out of the jug, down your front, down through your feet, down, down. Let it sink. Water just sinks till it hits the bottom. So pour it. Where's the bottom? What's the bottom? Is it concrete, geopolymer, crystal? Nothing, just stops in nothingness. You'll feel it when it hits bottom, and then you'll draw it back up again. And you'll think to yourself, man, am I that deep? Yeah, and then some. All the way down to the bottom of you. That's how deep you are, at least. And then when you draw it up, let it go out the top of your head. Just keep drawing up, up, out, way out, branches, trees, think big trees, leaves, gone, way gone. And then breathe back out, drop it back down again, all the way down. So your body is the tree trunk. Keep breathing in and out, easy breaths, not holding, not forcing. You are the tree trunk. Above you are all these branches. You can't see them with your eyes. You can perceive them if you want to, though. They go a long way up above the trunk. And then below you is a root system that reaches down at least as far as those branches reach up above the trunk, if not further. And get a sense of how big that is, how energetically big you are, how deep you go, how high you reach. And in the center of all that is your heart and your solar plexus. But most people have got their solar plexus sorted, so we'll focus on the heart. Really feel how far down those roots go, down to the bottom. Every time, hit the bottom with a thump. Bottom out. No air left in the lungs. And you draw that breath back up and way out the top, out up as high as it can go. You might even, be starting to feel a bit spacey with your eyes shut, be feeling like you're a giant. How do you even fit in the chair? Perception, your energetic perception might be changing as you feel this, because you're feeling like you're out of your body, but you're actually into your body more than you've ever been, energetically. And then from here, you're just going to ask if you may communicate with your highest self. Not your higher self, but your highest self. The highest, most expanded version of you that you can coherently communicate with. Because there are versions higher, but you can't understand them yet. They don't talk your language. So on that in-breath, as you're drawing up and you're pushing that energy way up through those branches as high, as far as they can go, expanding up and out, you get a sense of highest version of you, Overwatch. And you can feel that energy connection from the bottom of the roots all the way to the tips of the leaves on the end of those branches. It's not like you're not ever connected. You're always connected. But you have this perception that you're not. And so you'll feel when you connect with your highest self, because you'll feel it in your heart. And you don't need to do anything. I mean, this is how we work. This is who we work with. You know, we don't outsource. Not maybe later, but maybe never. Don't outsource. You work with yourself. And I guarantee that pretty much all that you need to get done, you can get done with yourself. And just say hello to this highest version of self. And listen to what it says back. Have a conversation. And when you feel like you've had enough of a conversation, or you've connected enough, because it's hard to walk around in the world spacey like that, you say thank you very much. And you just start pulling your breaths in. When you breathe in, you just don't let it go up quite so far. When you breathe out, you don't let it drop quite so low. You just pull those breaths back. Crib it back in your own time. You could spend half an hour or an hour doing this, more, until you're back at the top of the head and the soles of the feet. Taking good, solid breaths from the soles of the feet smoothly all the way up to the top of the head, and then sinking it back down again. Back in your body. Knowing that connection that you felt with the highest version of you, you can go higher than that, and you will if you keep playing with it. But that connection's always there. You don't have to get in the zone and do the thing, and that helps, you know, because it kind of tunes you in to the frequency. But just like your radio station, or you're hearing your favorite bird call out in the garden, when you get tuned to that frequency enough, you don't need to go to the dial and wiggle the knob around and you know, hold your tongue a certain way. You just go boop, you just press the button, bang, there you are. You just hear that bird all the time. And I don't think it matters whether you want to talk about ascended masters or highest selves or extra dimensional teachers. We're not talking about aliens. Aliens are something else. Again, they're in here. They're third dimension. They're with us. They're in the frequency fence. They're not outside. I'm talking about we're tapping outside here as best as we can. Inside. That's how we go out. We go out by going in. That's how you know you're out properly. Because you get in here. Doesn't matter what you want to call them. That's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with things that are here all the time around us, but out of phase, out of dimensionality. I don't know. There's lots of yummy scientific words over the last however many hundreds of years. Even better, spiritual words over the last thousands of years. But they're all talking about the same thing, really. And you can get lost in the multiplicity of it all, or you can just lock into, I'm just going to work with me. I want the highest version of self that I can understand and communicate with. And you just push for that every single time you do this. And you will start getting results, because that version of you It knows what needs to be done. And it's not that it doesn't care about the rent getting paid or the dishes that need washing or whatever. It's that it knows how to get that done, and the best way to get that done is to clean you up. And then that just gets done. You know, chop wood, carry water. Then you get enlightened and then you chop wood and carry water. The trouble is you're not. Once you're enlightened, the chopping, no one cares about the chopping wood and carrying water. Like it's nothing. It's brushing your teeth at night. It's not an issue. So it's not that you focus on these other things and it draws you away from your life. It's that the more you clean yourself up, the less of an issue your life will be, and the more amazing it can become. Because you start living the game less and less. All right, that's enough for now. Much love.